Who doesn't love a good fan theory? It's easy to get caught up in speculation when it comes to the stories you love, as we've seen multiple times in other forms of media in recent years. The Last Jedi, anyone? Video games are no different. Since they started to become mainstream with home consoles, players have been theorizing and questioning various plot points, character motives, backstories, you name it, for years. And while not all theories necessarily pan out, there is the odd occasion where developers confirm a theory's accuracy, and it's the coolest thing ever, in some cases. So today we're taking a look at some of these speculative wins, with our list of the top 10 video game fan theories that have been confirmed to be true. Number 10, The Baby. Starting off with a more recent addition to our list, let's talk about Outlast 2 and its odd ending. Spoilers abound, friends. So, at the end of the game, long story short, your wife has been kidnapped by this uber-religious cult and somehow ended up 9 months pregnant, giving birth to a baby at the end of the game. Many players were like, whoa, what the hell? But since its release, developers Red Barrel Studio have confirmed a theory that many fans had about the baby, and some of the other strange unexplainable events that occur in the game. The baby isn't real. When your wife gives birth, she says there's nothing there. This led fans to speculate that the baby was a hallucination, a psychosomatic effect of the morphogenic engine. If Red Barrel's confirmation isn't enough, fans of this theory have pointed out that there's a ton of document collectibles in the game that support this. Up next, number 9, Zero killed the Mega Man original cast. Here's a fan theory that was proven true, a theory that disproves another fan theory. If you're familiar with the Mega Man games, you'll know that their storylines take place over several different generations over the course of the franchise. There are different eras of Mega Man, each with their own unique protagonist and antagonist. Zero, a character that started off as a supporting figure in the Mega Man X series, was promoted to the main protagonist in Mega Man Zero, and he's known for his cold and emotionless attitude, despite having quite the wounded soul beneath all of that. Fans had theories that the character was responsible for killing off the cast of characters from the very first Mega Man era, claiming that the games subtly hint to him being Mega Man's murderer. This spawned a contrasting theory that Zero's character was not capable of doing such nefarious acts. And guess what? They were right. Keiji Inafune confirmed that Zero was not involved in any of the deaths of the initial Mega Man cast, saying that, I quote, "According to the way I created him, Zero is not such a person." And at number 8, Jesus and Deus Ex. Pretty much all of the Deus Ex games take place in a dystopian cyberpunk future, and the very first, released back in 2000, features a character by the name of JC Denton, a hero that is meant to help save humanity despite the hard decisions he's faced with by the end of the game. Fans have speculated that because of his position in all of this, JC is an allusion to Jesus Christ, and they weren't entirely wrong. Developer Warren Spector confirmed this theory, but its origins actually come from a friend of his, a sci-fi author named Bradley Denton, who he calls one of the nicest, most helpful people he's ever met. So helpful, in fact, that people would often call him out for how annoying his helpfulness was, often saying the words, "Jesus Christ, Denton." And when Spector borrowed his last name for the character, he decided to use the Jesus Christ part as well, except making it JC. One of the game designers has also confirmed the theory, saying that the initial idea was to have the protagonist be a descendant of the religious figure. Up next, number 7, Fox's gender. If you're familiar with the Fallout franchise, you'll know that super mutants are created when humans undergo intense experimentation. These experiments remove all signs of gender from the super mutants they create, meaning they can only come into existence by artificial means and cannot reproduce. One of these super mutants is a character you meet in Vault 87, in cell D624, named Fox. Many fans of the game speculated that Fox was actually previously female. There's a cell nearby with a terminal that states D624 was female. Seems pretty obvious then, right? But many fans still believe the way that the character interacted meant that Fox was male. That is, until someone at Bethesda confirmed that Fox was female, and that initially there was content intended to go into the game that stated that she was a security guard in Vault 87. While some take their word for it, that was also kind of thrown to the wind, all when Bethesda's lead designer stated that Fox was in fact male, and was always intended to be so. And at number 6, Symmetra. Blizzard's release of Overwatch comics really opened up the world in terms of character development, giving fans more to relish over outside of what the game had already provided. Aside from the revelation concerning the sexuality of Tracer, another character also gave fans a bit of a surprise, and subtly confirmed a theory that had gradually grown concerning her health. Symmetra can be a deadly character in the hands of a skilled player who knows how to properly make use of her traps and portals, and in the digital comic that focused on her character, called A Better World, fans noted that there was something interesting about her dialogue. She spoke as if she were autistic, and she mentioned the spectrum. This was later confirmed by Jeff Kaplan, the game's director, who responded to a fan letter asking the question with "yes," saying, I quote, "She is one of our most beloved heroes, and we think she does a great job of representing just how awesome someone with autism can be." And at number 5, Master Chief's M6D. Generally speaking, in most first-person shooters, your standard pistol firearm is typically one of the weakest weapons in your arsenal. But this wasn't exactly the case for Master Chief's M6D, RPG in Halo. Fans speculated that the weapon was very overpowered, and that the pistol had intentionally been crafted that way. It was eventually revealed that Bungie co-founder Jason Jones had intentionally increased the firepower on the weapon due to a balancing issue he believed the game had, and since developers didn't want to modify the weapon's data, he just adjusted it in the code, which would improve the pistol's stats when a map was loaded. In at number 4, Wolfenstein and Doom's connection. Fans of these two Bethesda games have noted the similarities between them, primarily between BJ Blazkowicz and Doomguy, which initially likely came down to the fact that both were conceived on the id Software prior to Bethesda obtaining their properties. While some theorists have dived deeper into their connection, Bethesda put the two in the same world in Wolfenstein RPG, when the Harbinger of Doom appears. After BJ defeats him, he says that he would continue to battle BJ's descendants in the future, which made the Harbinger the first cyber demon, which would later, chronologically speaking, appear as an enemy in Doom that the Space Marine, aka Doomguy, would fight. This inclusion in Wolfenstein RPG has led many people to believe that the two are biologically related, with Doomguy being a descendant of BJ's. Up next, number 3, Termina is the Twilight Realm. There's a lot of fan theories about The Legend of Zelda, so much so that we actually have done 2 videos on them, worth checking out after this one. Anyway, back when Twilight Princess was released, there was a lot of speculation about the similarities of the game to Majora's Mask. Maps were very much alike, and the Twilight make appearances in both, leading fans to believe that the Twilight Realm was actually Termina from Majora's Mask. This was confirmed in Hyrule Historia, which was released by Nintendo, and provided an official timeline of the whole franchise's series. The theories have expanded to go much deeper than that, pretty much to question narratively what exactly occurred between the times both games are set in. Regardless, there's a connection there. And at number 2, Michael Jackson and Sonic. When Sonic the Hedgehog 3 came out, players noted the similarities between the soundtrack of the game and the King of Pop's musical stylings, but he wasn't mentioned in the credits. So for years, rumors were abound that Jackson had worked on the project, but for whatever reason had abandoned it and was uncredited. In 1993, Sega confirmed that Michael Jackson did in fact work on multiple tracks for the game, but because of the allegations that were beginning to arise about his personal life, his name was removed from the game. While it's never been officially announced how much of the soundtrack he worked on, many of the individual developers involved with the game have claimed that he didn't just create a few of the tracks, but rather the entirety of it, and that rather than due to the allegations, Michael requested his name to not be included in the credits due to how the Sega Genesis processed sound. The quality just wasn't up to his standards. So, which one do you guys believe? And finally, in at number 1, Super Mario Bros. 3 is a stage play. One of the earlier theories that eluded fans of the Mario franchise for quite some time was whether or not Super Mario Bros. 3 was actually a stage play. The evidence? Well, the game starts with curtains opening. There's shadows from the set pieces cast onto the backdrop. Blocks are bolted to the background, platforms hang from the ceiling, and every level ends with exiting stage right, into a black area that appears to be the end of the set. This was confirmed in 2015 by Miyamoto himself. He was asked during an interview about it, in which he kept his answers short and sweet, with simply a yes. Alright, there we have it, friends. Were you on board with any of these theories before they were confirmed? What theories do you have about other games that you think must be true? Give us a shout in those comments below and let us know. If you dug this video, as usual, please show us some love by hitting those like and subscribe buttons. And hey, share this video with a friend! We've also got a ton of other great videos on our channel, so take a look at our recent uploads playlist and see if anything tickles your fancy. In the meantime, thanks for watching. I've been Kelly Pally and this has been Top 10 Gaming. Catch you all in the next one.